it's definitely going to put us, by following our authority, it puts us in a place where the lessons that we will get from the decisions that we make from following our authority, it will be correct for us one way or the other, even if it's you know going into a relationship that happens to be intense and brings a lot of learning from it, or one that's just smooth and it's just like really like butter, how we come together and things just work, in a smooth, beautiful way. It could be that way. It could be whatever it is. But if we enter it correctly in a place that's really from honoring our authority, we get exactly what's correct for us. That's the beautiful thing.
Well, so what
And
happens if you follow your own authority and you're doing that and you feel like you're doing that and living life, you're in the moment, you're in today, everything that's happened to your life, you feel like you've been following your authority, but you're not in a place where you thought you would be. In essence, like, you know, you set objectives, you set goals, and you're trying to be financially responsible and doing all this stuff, and you feel like you're following that authority, and it's put you in a place where you're not satisfied, you're not happy. How do you respond to that?
well, again, that sounds like it sounds mental, because if you're following your authority, then your authority always, for the most part. I mean, let me use myself as an example. It's always the best. I feel if I ask the question, is my business exactly where I'd like it to be right now, in terms of the amount of clients and in terms of the amount of being out there and how it's all flowing in? Not exactly. Am I happy with where I am with it and how I'm developing it, and seeing where it's going? And I feel really good. I feel in a good place with all of it. I have enough for what I'm, where I'm at, what I need to take care of, and what I'm doing. I'm just in a good place, and that's the thing. It's really being here and now, being fully with myself and content with being enough. I am enough, you know, and each moment of being enough takes me to the next moment of being enough, and everything that I need, it comes to me, and it works out. So I'm not living in this place of stressed out, you know, wishing to be something else, hoping and wishing and freaked out about anything. It's just there's something that's going on, and I'm pretty much in tune with it, in what's going on internally, but also seeing how it's also happening on the external as well. With COVID and what it represents, and then how it's really changing things in our society. But it's also an internal process that it's bringing us, closer to within ourselves, to really look at what's going on and to shift things and change. And I mean, it's something new that's birthing that I feel very strongly, and I feel like this is such a beautiful time, and it's like my time. So I'm enjoying the whole process, and that kind of feeling, this fulfilled with myself, being enough, is what it's such a great drive for me. That's it keeps me going, and not feeling like you know I have to freak out to try to do anything that's not me, or try to be like someone else or something like that. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, well, you brought a lot of things to light because, one thing in context is that I know for me, I feel like as I advise my clients to do, is when you're building a business, right, you have to do benchmarking, and modeling to some extent, right? And a
Hmm.
lot of people will benchmark and model and compare. And next thing you know, their business, they're trying to make it like somebody else's business, not their own business. So they're compromising, trying to be who they're not, right?
Hmm.
And then another comment, I want to comment toward another thing you made. It's about thought, right? And I'll just again use me as an example. Um, there's this cognitive distortion where things are great in my life. I mean, I'm blessed on so many levels, right? And of course, there's things that could be better, right? And
Of course.
feel like I'm following my inner authority and just blessed and all of a sudden, but what about all the things that aren't what I thought? And then what I get to do is, as you say, back off, check it down, and realize that there's this thing, this cognitive distortion where I don't know if it's just me or if it's everybody, that I'm always looking at how bad things are versus how good things are. So therefore, I get to stop, be conscious, and focus on the blessings and the rightness. And that helps me keep my life on track and trust that inner authority's guidance, even in the face of what appears to not be the right path,
Mhm.
maybe.
When you say in the face of what might seem to be not the right path, you mean what do you mean by that?
So I'm confronting the cognitive distortion now. So now I can make the distinction of focusing on the good and realizing how wonderful things are, trusting the inner authority, or I can do what I'm doing right now and focus on, oh, well, wait a second. Maybe all those decisions that I made before to do this and do that, that's resulted in this that's not working out. Maybe that was wrong, and maybe I was wrong. And there's that cognitive distortion where I think that even though I know on one distinction how right and good and things are, as I trust source and surrender to the inner authority, there's that gnawing comparing myself and looking at the world and, oh, well, I should be making more money, right? More money, right? And there's the greed motive might
Comparing.
creep in. Yeah, comparing. So I
Yeah.
think that's the distinction, is we get to be conscious of that. And I'm speaking about just to me, I don't know if anybody else can relate to this, but just to me, I get to kind of harness that, and consciously put a harness on it, as opposed to let it run unbridled and let it run rampant. Next thing you know, oh my God, it's so wrong and everything's and you get in a spiral of self-doubt and despair. I get to stop that, harness that, and control that. Breathe into it, I think. And as you say, enjoy the process. Even when it's not working out, realize that maybe it is working out.
Mhm. Beautiful.